Welcome to Moving to Portugal Daily, episode 42. I'm Mateus Costa. Today, we dive into Structure Your Remote Job for SEF, the SEF Friendly employment package for D7, D8, with practical steps to help you relocate smarter and live better in Portugal.
Imagine this. You show up to a SEF appointment with bank deposits that clearly exceed the minimum, an active freelance calendar, and months of client payments. And you get a soft, unexpected denial because the story doesn't add up on paper. They see piecemeal invoices, payments from multiple platforms, and no single verifiable employment narrative. It happens more than you'd think, and it's devastating. Months of effort delayed, stress, extra expense, and sometimes a forced return home. Portugal rewards preparation, but only if your documents tell a single coherent truth. Here's the promise. In the next minutes, I'll walk you through a compact 4-part remote job package that you can assemble in days, not weeks. You'll leave with an actionable blueprint. 1. Employer or client letters with exact phrasing. 2. Contracts and invoice formats that read well to SEF. 3. Bank flow best practices and statement annotation. And 4. A simple tax and accounting narrative that makes sense to finances and SEF. Follow this, and you reduce the risk of confusing the officer and dramatically improve renewals and first approvals. Small daily habits and polished interview presence complete the picture, because documents alone aren't enough.
Section 1. Employer and client letters, contracts and invoices. Start with a single coherent payer narrative. If you have multiple clients, group them under a clear label. For example, primary contracting relationship, inbound marketing services to Company X, UK, and request a signed client letter. The exact wording I recommend. This letter certifies that client/company name engages your name to provide brief service description. Average monthly payment is X euros. Payments are made to your account name on agreed invoicing. This relationship is active from start date and is expected to continue. Ask the client to sign on company letterhead. Include the signatory's name, title, contact email, and a short confirmation line. We can confirm the above facts if SEF requests verification. Who should sign? Preferably someone on finance or an operations manager, not a general inbox. Avoid vague wording like occasionally pays or on file. Precise numbers and timeframes are key. For contracts and invoices, your contract should include clear payment terms, net 30 or net 14, the service description, retention clauses if applicable, and an invoicing schedule. On invoices, use a consistent template, invoice number, invoice date, service period, detailed line items, gross amount, currency, payment method, and the client's billing address. Add this label prominently, services rendered remotely from Portugal, self-employed contractor, or independent consultant providing remote services, so SEF sees the remote work intention. If you receive payments through platforms, include a short note on the invoice. Payment received via platform on date, gross amount, X euros, to avoid platform-to-bank ambiguity. If a client refuses to sign a letter, at minimum obtain an emailed confirmation with the same wording from an identifiable company email.
Section 2. Bank flows and evidence, plus multi-currency tips. SEF officers look for consistent bank evidence that matches your letters and invoices. Recommended pattern: route client payments into one primary account for at least 3 consecutive months for new applications. This account should show invoice deposits, matching amounts, and occasional transfers to your local living account. Avoid routing each payment through different accounts or mixing multiple currencies into the same unlabeled transfers. If you use an intermediary service, Wise, Payoneer, or a client escrow, annotate your bank statement. Keep a simple ledger that maps invoice numbers to incoming transfers and add a one-line comment like invoice number 2023-045 paid by client X via Wise, saved as a PDF. If SEF asks, you can present this ledger alongside signed invoices and client letters. Multi-currency tip: present converted euro equivalents on invoices and include the exchange rate and date. Show the conversion in your ledger so SEF sees a euro trail. On annotations, do not alter bank statements. Instead, prepare a separate, dated reconciliation document that references exact statement lines, date, amount, reference code, and link to the invoice number. This keeps your financial narrative transparent and verifiable.
Section 3. Tax notes, accounting narrative, habits, and interview presence. For finanzas and long-term safety, keep a simple accounting narrative. A one-page summary each quarter showing gross income, main clients, tax status, non-resident or resident as applicable, and whether you are using an accountant. If you are uncertain about changing invoicing structures, consult a Portugal-based accountant before you implement. This avoids unexpected liabilities. When it comes to habits that generate evidence, build verifiable routines. Schedule regular client calls and keep calendar invites with participant emails. Save meeting notes or recordings when permitted. Retain client emails that confirm deliverables and payments, and keep a consistent invoicing cadence. These everyday records reinforce the document package and help during interviews. Appearance and communication matter too. Show up to SEF or finanzas appointments dressed neatly with clear, concise answers. Practice a 2-minute summary of your work, what you do, who you serve, how you get paid, and why it continues. Small grooming habits and calm, confident communication reduce the chance an officer doubts your narrative. Optimize your life while you relocate. Habits feed credibility.
Real Nomad example, and common mistake to avoid. I worked with a client, let's call him Lucas, who had strong monthly income, but used 3 different payment platforms, a pile of PayPal notes, and scattered email confirmations. At renewal, SEF asked for coherent proof. He was initially denied. We rebuilt his package, consolidated future invoices to a primary account, obtained signed client letters with the exact wording I described, created a reconciliation ledger mapping invoices to bank statement lines, and practiced a tight 2-minute interview script. On appeal, his renewal was granted. The common mistakes were simple: inconsistent payer names, absence of signed letters, and no reconciliation between invoices and bank statements. Don't let your paperwork be the weakest link. Build the narrative before you need it.
Immediate 15-minute checklist you can do today. 1. Email your top client and request the short signed letter with the exact phrasing I mentioned. 2. Open and save PDF copies of your last 3 invoices with consistent numbering. 3. Create a 1-page reconciliation ledger mapping invoice numbers to the exact bank statement lines. 4. Schedule 1 weekly calendar event for client calls with invitation and agenda saved. 5. If you don't yet have one, book a 30-minute consult with a Portugal accountant. These 5 steps take about 15 minutes to start and put you on a path to a coherent dossier. Portugal rewards preparation. Small daily habits create big lifestyle wins.
If you want step-by-step templates, exact client letter phrasing, invoice templates formatted for SEF clarity, and a reconciliation ledger you can edit, I've built a course module with downloadable templates and a review option where we look over your dossier together. The show notes include the link to the Moving to Portugal daily course page and a short offer for listeners to get a document review slot. This is a practical next step if you prefer templates and a guided checklist. That's your immediate Portugal blueprint. Start applying one thing this week. Portugal isn't just a destination. It's your optimized new beginning.